Hi, I'm Todd Jones, and thank you very much for using my site. A lot of people ask me, what is a short sale? And so since I get that question a lot, I thought I'd just make a video and put it right here. A short sale is basically a home that is over encumbered. What does that mean? It means that you owe more than what you can get for it on the open market. So as an example, let's say you have a house that you bought for $500,000 and it's now worth $400,000 in this market. Is that possible? Heck yeah, it's possible. It's happening all the time. So what happens is if someone really needs to sell their home, there's some kind of hardship in their life, they've lost their job, one of the spouses isn't working, someone's sick, just something unexpected, and they need to sell their home, then what they do is they approach the bank with the help of a real estate agent and say, look, I can only get $400,000 for my home. I know I owe $500,000. What can we do about this? And that's basically they're asking for forgiveness of where they're short. That's why they call it a short sale. Now, I always joke that they should really call them long sales because it seems to take forever to get them approved. I had one that lasted a full 6 months, and my seller had a huge hardship. They were actually bankrupt, and I don't know why the bank didn't move faster, but they didn't. It took forever to get it approved, and we did eventually end up selling the home to the original buyer. Now, you'll see homes that are listed for certain prices, and you might look at the price and think, wow, that's an incredibly low price. And a lot of times that's done for a specific reason. I mean, think about it. If you had a home that you wanted to sell quickly, what's the best and quickest way to get offers? To list it for a low price, right? You list it for a low price, you're going to have like swarms of people around wanting to make an offer on your home. Now, remember, a short sale means that you have to ask the bank to forgive how much you're short. And there could be a second or a third loan involved here, so it becomes quite complicated. Now, if you're short a big amount and you have to get the bank to approve what they're going to forgive, right? That price that is being asked may not be the real price. So let's say, for example, with the same example, the home was purchased for $500,000. It's now worth $400,000. So the listing agent might list the home for, say, $360,000, thinking, hey, I'm going to generate a lot of offers. And guess what? They will. They're going to get all kinds of action on that home. And let's say they get a full-priced offer at $360,000 and it gets accepted and the buyer's excited, the seller's excited because they finally get to move on with their life, but the bank now has to look at it and basically give their blessing. Now, the bank is not a party to the purchase agreement. It's still the buyer and the seller. But since there's that shortness in there, remember how much you're short, the bank has to approve that because they're the ones, excuse the term, taking it in the shorts. So they really need to approve this amount, okay? So you might see a great price when you're out there and just be cautiously excited because it's still got to get approved by the bank. Now that process is a complicated process and it takes a while, and there have been some recent government mandates that are giving incentives to the banks and almost requiring them to try to work out a short sale first before doing a foreclosure. It changes daily, so please don't take this as the law or the rule, because by the time you watch this video, that could have changed. Now, the bank won't even talk to you, and this is a big thing that might be changing, but right now, the bank won't even talk to you until you present them with an offer. All right, so that's how come you'll always see, or most of the time you'll see a low price for a short sale, because if the bank won't talk to me until I have an offer, what am I going to try to do? I'm going to try to get an offer, and what's the best way to get an offer? Have a low price. The home is put on the market for a very aggressive price, we'll say. Offers come in, hopefully quickly if you've priced it well, and then you have to present that offer to the bank along with what they call a short sale package. Now, a short sale package is going to ask the seller of the home a bunch of questions. They're going to want to see bank statements. They're going to want to see financial statements. They're going to want to see tax returns. They're going to want a letter telling them why you have to sell. Because, look, if you can afford the home and stay in it, you can still make the monthly payments. It doesn't matter that the home's not worth what you bought it for. The bank's point of view is going to be like, well, just keep making the monthly payments. I mean, you have to have a hardship. You have to have a reason you're going to move. Could be a divorce. Could be a death in the family. Could be a job transfer. Could be a sick person. There's a whole bunch of reasons for hardships. So you put together, or the real estate agent puts together the package, and they send it to the bank. And then they wait. And they wait. And they wait some more. Hopefully this will be obsolete by the time you watch the video, and they will be faster with this. But they have literally stacks and stacks of short sales that need to be approved. So it takes a bit of time, and you need to be patient. Anyway, you wait and you wait and you wait, and then what happens is you get a response from the bank saying, okay, yes, we will take the short sale, or we will take the offer, we will forgive it X number of dollars. Okay, well, that's fantastic if that happens. But most of the time the bank will counter back and say, you know what, we're not going to take that. We sent out 2 real estate agents to do what's called a BPO, or a broker price opinion. They filled out this long form and with pictures of local comps and all that stuff, and they sent it back, and we believe your home is actually worth $400,000 in today's market. We're not going to forgive it $140,000 down to the $360,000, but we will forgive the debt up to $100,000 down to the $400,000. And at that point, the agent goes back to the original buyer and says, okay, they won't take $360,000, but they will take $400,000. Would you be willing to take it? And here's the funny thing. Even though you've waited about anywhere from 30 to 90 days to get that answer, the bank wants your response within usually 48 to 72 hours. Isn't that crazy? You wait that long, but they want a really quick answer after they've responded. All right, so now we have an answer from the bank, and what happens probably 9 times out of 10 is the original buyer has already found another home. They waited 90 days. They couldn't wait anymore. They needed a place for their family. They found a home. They're already living in it. So now you know what the bank will take, but you don't have a buyer anymore, and you have a quick turnaround. Well, this is where you'll see in the MLS sometimes in the description of the multiple listing service, bank approved price. And that's how we know. Because somebody else did the waiting game, but they lost interest, or maybe they couldn't get financing, or whatever. There's hundreds of reasons. So they essentially said, no, not interested anymore. They moved on, and now we have a bank approved price. So if you're looking through the multiple listing service and you've found a short sale, and you've heard, oh, don't go for short sales, they take forever, but you see in there bank approved, then go for it. All right, I encourage you to do it. And if you're in Southern California, more specifically the Los Angeles area, then definitely call me, and I'll be glad to help you with that. I work in the San Fernando Valley, Studio City, Sherman Oaks, Encino, Valley Village, Toluca Lake, and I also work in the Hollywood Hills, Mount Olympus, the other side of the hills, Beverly Hills, Beverlywood vicinity, Hollywood, all over, Sunset Strip. Let me know. I'd be happy to help you out. Santa Monica, Venice, Malibu. Really, I've done deals everywhere between Malibu and Pasadena, and everywhere in between. Now, if the offer was written properly and everything goes well, then it's actually, all the contingency periods don't start until you get written approval from the bank. So don't fear like, oh, I only have a 10-day contingency period or 17 days to do my inspections and all that, but it's going to take me 90 days to get an answer. Don't worry about that, because as long as the offer is written well, then what happens is that contingency period starts the day you get written approval from the bank. But I'll tell you, more than anything, you're going to need patience. All right? If you don't have patience, I would not recommend short sales for you. So this is a video giving you the basic life of a short sale and exactly what one is. If you have any questions or comments, or if you're looking to buy a home yourself, or you have a home that you believe might be a short sale and you want to sell it, please don't hesitate to give me a call. I'm happy to help out.